So, I always talk about how like fragrances remind me of certain times, and this fragrance in specific reminds me of a certain time, and that is the early 90s. So I kind of, this is my typical makeup. This is my typical format. I haven't lately been wearing this same makeup, but this is what I would normally put on. This is the shape. It's got my nose tree. I call it my nose tree because someone called it that one time. I like hot pink lipstick. I like red lipstick. I like nude too. But the fragrance sort of suggested the jewelry for me. And this jewelry is not Trifari, but it reminds me of Trifari at like May Company or Robinson's May or Nordstrom or something. That costume jewelry like Napier or Trifari or Monet, all of that jewelry that would be on those racks that spin at like the makeup, right next to the makeup counter. So that's what this jewelry sort of reminded me of, was like, Trifari jewelry, something like that. So with that said, it reminded me of this fragrance, which, let me tell you, if you are not into sweet perfume, and if you do not like them to smell you before you walk in, this is not the fragrance for you. This is really for somebody who really likes fragrance. This is MACKIE by Bob Mackie. This came out in the early 90s, probably 91, maybe 91, I would say. This fragrance profile is, of course, based in that mirepoix of fragrance, which I call it, which would be sandalwood, musk, patchouli, amber, all of that. That is the base of this. But it also has strong floral influence and strong fruit influence. So it is coming at you from every angle. You are going, this is a strong fragrance, but I love it. This would be, okay, I don't believe this about this fragrance, but do you know when someone who's not familiar with fragrance goes, oh, that smells like rat spray? That smells like bug spray. This would be the closest to understanding what that means. I don't think it smells like that, but I could see why someone might have an aversion to something that is this sweet and this strong. I think it's delicious because it smells like peaches and pineapple and raspberry and ylang ylang and honeysuckle. I mean, those are strong. If you imagine honeysuckle, pineapple, like orange blossom, raspberry, if you imagine all of that fragrance layered on top of what I call the mirepoix of fragrance, which would be sandalwood, musk, amber, patchouli. If you imagine all of that slapped together, that is like, it's like a salsa. Like there's so many flavors in a salsa, right? Onions, cilantro, tomatoes, depending upon how you do it. Some people like oregano in it, but all these flavors really make magic, but not everybody likes salsa. So all the fragrance elements in this make it happen. But if you're not that person, I'm telling you right now, it would be way too much for you. It would be so much to process. If you smelled it on someone else, you might really like it, because it just also depends on how much of it you put on. I love it. I mean, I have had, since I've been wearing perfume for 25 years, I guess, I've had this. I've had this. My mother's friend, her name was Marcella. She went to college with her, and Marcella was always somebody, or is always someone who wears fragrance. She used to wear one of my favorites, which I think is completely out of print, but maybe you can get a version of it. But it was just the original Fendi. It was a gorgeous rectangular bottle with a black, sort of looked like enamel dome on the top. It was gorgeous. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. I love it. Probably as much as I love Coco Chanel. And I can't get it anymore. But Marcella would wear this as well, and it reminds me of that. The perfume that I'm wearing tonight is here. I've worn this before. I love it. If you like a rose scent, by the way, not a lot of people like rose. If you really, really like rose, then you wear tea rose, of course. Tammy Brown is tea rose to a T. But if you like rose, and if you like an obvious rose but with something else, this would be a good one for you. This is Oscar de la Renta Rose, or Rosé. I don't know if it's rose or rosé. It's just spelled rose without an accent mark. But this is based in like a white floral. So there's white amber, white musk, a white floral. Lily is in there, but then there's a heavy sort of, there's rose, but there's like layers of rose to it. So it's not, a lot of times when people think of rose perfume, they think of tea rose, or they think of what they consider to be an old lady scent. I'm not getting that from this. I'm getting almost like an essential rose kind of. So yeah, this is a good one. And there's a bit of a little tiny bit of fruitiness to this to knock off some of that original so strong rose scent if you're fearful of that. I really like this one. This is good. And again, this is something, because this has been out for a few years, you can probably get this at, you know, Marshall's or one of those places. And Freesia. There's probably like Freesia or something in this to make it crispy. Tonight's fragrance was this one from the dollar store, from 99 only. And it is, they have a collection of 4 of these. They're $1 each. I love them just for the packaging. How sweet is that? And it is, this particular one's called Be Flirty. Peaches, apricots, raspberry. You know, it's $1. I have them because I have them at my makeup station, and just because I think they're pretty. One is orange, one is pink, one is red, and one is lavender. And they're just an ounce. They're so cute. I have them sitting on a little ledge over here. Maybe I'll take pictures of it over there. Fragrance of the evening, New Wave is, turn it this way so you can see it. Crush by Rihanna. This is, it's fruity and juicy, and but it does have a musky base, I would say. Pardon me. Pardon me. I feel like sometimes I use terms in fragrance that maybe, so if you're not familiar with what it means, it might send off an interesting vibe. But the term musky doesn't mean like sweaty balls. It doesn't always mean that, or well, maybe it could, but when in fragrance, musky is not it's not sweaty balls. So if somebody says that this is based in musk is in fact a fragrance profile, and it's not a stinky fragrance profile or terribly organic, if you will. But this has a musky base, and it does have a fruitiness to it. I would say definitely fruity. So very berry and citrusy. There's a little floral in it, of course. I think every fragrance perfume concoction has a fragrance profile that has floral in it, but it's not strong floral. The fragrance of the night. So I was saying I was inspired by Tom of Finland, and my music was for tonight was inspired by that. And so I was thinking of a fragrance that was beyond gender identity, male, female, all of it. Not that Tom of Finland Tom of Finland is clearly, you know, a very masculine role, but I liked the idea of playing with like a femme Tom of Finland character. So in any event, Jo Malone Pomegranate Noir, I feel like this is for anyone. And when I think of sex and the Garden of Eden and debauchery, and I think of I just think, whenever I think of something like that, I think of this scent specifically, because this is two things that I love. It's woodsy. It's definitely based in patchouli, musk, clove, really, really spicy, but laid on top of all of that is just fruit. Juicy fruit dripping down your mouth, colors, you know, pink, red, orange, but the scent in this, there's pink pepper in this. There is raspberry, God, it smells good. Of course, pomegranate, plum, raspberry, rhubarb. I mean, so much in this. So much in this. Jo Malone Pomegranate Noir. I love it. I was thinking of maybe something leathery to wear, but the peppery in this gives me what I need. So Yes, Jo Malone Pomegranate Noir. So good. So I was down the aisle the other day at 99-cent store because, you know, social distance line, it has to go down somewhere. So it goes down sort of the cosmetic area. And what did I find but a bottle of perfume? And it's really pretty. It's like an oil slick bottle. This perfume is called Dreamer. And it's from Roux 21. Do you guys remember or know of Roux 21? It's a clothing store. Mostly what I would consider to be a junior's clothing store. But, you know, not designer names. It's like it's a clothing store for lots of separates and pieces you can put together for maybe somebody who's a professional, or even if you're going out. Anyway, Roux 21 has their own little line of fragrances that a lot of clothing stores have. You can get them at like Hot Topic has stuff, Torrid has stuff. But this is one of their fragrances, and it was $1.99 at the 99-cent store. And it is a very simple fragrance profile. I mean, I have it on now. I quite like it. It is, again, very simple. I don't really feel like it's based in a whole lot. What I would consider this to be is like just if you can imagine a fragrance being all top notes, meaning notes that will burn off very quickly, but it's been on for a while. This is peach, berry, and there's definitely like a sugared vanilla in this. And I think it's good. So maybe I would say that the base is like a sugared vanilla, and then there's peach and berries, I would say, in it, because it's a little cherry and it's a little. But I want to say that this is probably a fairly new fragrance. So maybe for them, the last year, maybe 2018 or 2019. But yeah. So just $2 at the 99-cent store. It's a really pretty bottle. It's actually one of the prettiest bottles I've seen. And over here where I get ready, in my little makeup area, I have a few things like sitting out, like bottles that I think are really pretty. And I keep that one out because I just think it is so nice. So look for that. And when next time you're at 99 only stores, it's called, you know, the store's called 99 only. It's a chain of 99-cent stores. Which, of course, there are a few items with price points a little bit higher, like this at $1.99. Dreamer from Roux 21. So there you go. White diamonds. I haven't worn this. I told you I have all the variations of this. I have diamonds and rubies. I have diamonds and sapphires, diamonds and emeralds, white diamonds, night, sparkling diamonds, all of those. I like them. They're, you know, people say, oh, it's an old lady perfume. Well, fuck it. I'm an old lady. I'm going to wear it. I like it. It smells good. White diamonds is a classic floral. Classic floral fragrance. We're talking it's bergamot, lily, jasmine, rose, ylang ylang. If you don't know what ylang ylang is, it's a base in a lot of floral perfumes, floral fruity perfumes specifically. And it is, it's like there's a heavy sweet fruitiness to it. Some people say banana. They smell banana in it. So yeah, ylang ylang is in that. Violet's in it. I also, sometimes when I talk about these perfumes that I like, you'll hear a lot of the same things. So you've heard bergamot is in a lot of things. You've heard jasmine's in a lot of things. You'll hear the narcissus is in something. I'm here to tell you, just because I know, and because many of you probably know too, narcissus is a fancy word for a daffodil. It is the same thing as a daffodil. It is exactly this. It is a daffodil. A narcissus is a daffodil. I'm sorry. It's what it is. So when you hear that, like, oh, narcissus, it's a daffodil. There's nothing wrong with that. It's gorgeous. It smells great. And a daffodil has like a sort of a dark green, maybe jasmine-y kind of smell. So yeah, I mean, that's white diamonds. It's classic. And if you know fragrance and you smell white diamonds, you'll always go, oh, that bitch is wearing white diamonds. And usually because a lot of people, you know, I'm around queens all the time. And so they wear a lot of, you know, a lot of queens that wear perfume will layer a lot on, myself included. And so some people just get sick of smelling the same thing over and over. So for some people, white diamonds is too much. But for me, it's just fine. I do love white diamonds, but there are other variations of the diamond, the Elizabeth Taylor diamonds family that I like a little bit more, and I'm going to wear them soon, because I do have some. But yeah, classic floral. It does smell great. Again, this is like, I was talking the other day about the men's fragrance Yope, however you like to pronounce it. Passion, cocoa. These are fragrances that are so strong that if you are buying a fragrance as a gift, these are not your go-tos at first. If you're buying someone a fragrance as a gift and you don't know, maybe you know they wear perfume, but you don't know what their perfume profile is, and just, if you don't know their scent profile, Tresor is an option for you. Something simple, clean, maybe Clinique Happy. It's something that it's not that they won't turn their head at it, but it's a way of like sort of breaking the ice with that. Passion by Estee Lauder. Oh, do they have a passion? Elizabeth Taylor has Passion for sure. That's her signature original fragrance is Passion, which I love. Magie Noir is number one. I love Magie Noir. Detox knows this. I've worn the different Gucci blooms that you've given me, and I talk about them. Gucci bloom, I was telling Detox how much I liked it. I kid you not, like the next day on my doorstep she's in Chicago, I'm here in LA, in the suburbs of LA. A box shows up and it's like all of the Gucci bloom variations. And then I tag her in it and I'm like, girl, oh my God, thank you so much. And she's like, wait, one's missing. So she had them then 24-hour, that other one that was missing. And Gucci bloom has seriously become one of my that I just have to have. You know what I mean? I tell you that I wear cocoa all the time. I have to have cocoa. I have to have Oud Bouquet from Lancôme. I have to have Knowing. These are just fragrances I have to have at all times. I really recently fell in love with the MAC Velvet Teddy fragrance. But the bloom, when Detox sent that, and she knew, she was like, I'm just telling you, I know that you mentioned that you were interested in the bloom. She said, I'm telling you right now, you are going to love it forever. She's like, I just know you. I just know what you need. And she sent it and I was like, oh my, I didn't even know, I couldn't even breathe because it was everything I needed that I didn't know that I needed. So it's like the Gucci bloom, and then there's the dark, and there's the green, there's all the variations of it. And I just love it so much.